Ha! Aha! I had no sound on YouTube. Hey, CR7. My mute was on. I've been trying to figure out a cover-up button, but I've not. Hey, hello. So yeah, this will be another slow hour of drawing. So I'll do this. I'm going to do this Tuesdays and Thursdays. Work for an hour if I have time. Oh man, if I have time to do any quicker drawings on the pockets, I will, but not tonight. I need to help with dinner after this. So I'm just going to draw this for an hour, and that's it for tonight. I will then, I might work on this. I'm taking Friday off of work, so I might work on this during the day, Friday, or earlier, I should say. You are the first, TR7. Although my YouTube's not a very popular site for people to hang out. I am getting a little more attention, but not much. Tonight we're having ham, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce in the can, and biscuits. It's almost like a little Thanksgiving, or I guess it's more like a Christmas dinner, since it's ham and not turkey. Yeah. So after I draw this for an hour, I need to go down and carve the ham. That's why I'm not going to do any quick drawings. Yeah. So last night, really, I didn't have time to draw when I did, but last night I came back live for like 25 minutes. I did a 6-minute Chris Griffin last night.
From Springfield.
But I think it's fair to say I'm not really going to have much time to do other quick drawings on nights that I work on these. Where's my line? Nike's there. It is.
That was Daphne.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Pretty Girl Purple. That's a pretty good day at work, CR7. Thanks for asking. I'm going to work from home tomorrow.
By the bowl.
I have that option, but only a certain number of days out of the year. There's like kind of like holiday pay. There's a certain number of days you can work from home with my company. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. There we go. That's nice. How do I do that? Hey Ben, thanks. This is now, I'm 5.5 hours through this. This is my 6th hour I'm going on. Thanks, Diana. Yeah, I've just learned, I'm drawing this sideways because I'm going to use the footage to, I'm going to use the footage. Let me figure out, hold on, what shading I'm going to do. I'm going to use this footage for my time-lapse video on YouTube. So I'm doing a widescreen edit in the end when I download this footage. But yeah, I work on this, on these big drawings. I work on them an hour at a time. Most of the posts that you see on my social media, whether it's my, I do shorts on YouTube or my posts here, most of them are quick drawings that I've done during lives. Thanks, Diana. 1,000 likes. From you? Saying nobody else liked it. Skip it. Right? Diana's trying to claim all the likes on TikTok. That's all right. I'm also on YouTube. If you did switch over to YouTube, you might not hear me some more as well. You're not going to hear the music as much, but you're going to see the drawing upright. It is just a drawing, but at least you'll see it off upright. I'm doing shading on her hair. I'm trying not to make it look like just straight lines up and down when I do the shading. I'm making the hair two different tones, some darker shading than others, and I'm liking the way it's looking so far. I don't need nothing. You broke your wrist today, Piper. Wow, how'd you do that? So you swiping the type? Yeah. Oh, did you go away, CR70? My number just went down. Awesome. Your brother threw you and broke your wrist. Wow, I hope you got in trouble. Like y'all were just goofing off and you got blamed for it too. Ooh, here we go. There we go. No, no. All right. Well, it's like March. Hmm. Well, maybe they were more worried about your wrist than you're getting your brother into trouble. Maybe when they get the bill from the doctor, he'll get in trouble then.
Porque você vai se selecionando para a questão dos
You barely draw a square. That's funny. Oh, how great. Well, yeah, this is something I have been practicing for a long time. I'm going on 30 years drawing on the Etch A Sketch. So a lot of practice, but it is something that I just found naturally I could do. I can't even draw a circular circle. Quite appropriate that Nightmare Before Christmas just happened. Come on. The music is set to play randomly. Music from my CD collections that I've converted to MP3s and listening to on my iPod. Do these words make sense to you? Whoa, whoa, no. Yeah, I'm not taking any requests.
I might just cook a special batch of snake and spider stew.
Oh, there's Santa Claus. This is my sixth out. Now I take it back. 5.5 hours. Been working on it 5.5 hours. I'm working on it for another hour. I work on it an hour at a time. Although I did push through getting my shading done, my initial shading done, another extra half an hour or so. 5 hours and 40 minutes to be exact.
Not too much. And with your permission,
I'm going to do my stuff.
you're going to do.
I'm going to do the best I can. So I have not done. So what I did was I did all of the drawing and shading. Thanks, Jason Bacon. Good to see you. I did all of the drawing and shading, and then I lightly shook it yesterday, and I started retracing. I did all the sky, and I retraced the outline of Sally, and now I'm doing the shading on her. And then I'll end up going back and doing finishing touches. You're over here now. Oh, look at that. You are just back and forth. Which is the better experience, Chloe? YouTube or TikTok? And you ain't going nowhere. Hey, Relene. I have 2 children. I have a son and a daughter. My daughter just turned 10. My son is about to turn 14 at the end of May.
It's too hard to fall in line for girls. It's like a long time. I can't finish today. Sign so I can finally buy well in the middle of the night. And I go in my sleep, go back and stay. I feel. So I was such a something.
Yeah.
Something else.
Doing the back for her hair now. I'm going to look her over to see if there's any other shading that I want to do. But I kind of like how Sally looks as is. It might be hard to tell because of the sparkles. That's perfect. That's all right. I can straighten it. I don't want to move it. Yo, Lisa Bedina is in the house on YouTube. So, you know what? I do want to darken the inner hair. So I'm going to go do that. Where do I want to go? I want to go. Focus here for a minute. I cannot lose sight of my stylus Schneikes.
God knows I've never experienced better. But you look at that, it's not.
There we go. And I'm under her chin. Well, hello, Ariella on TikTok. Thank you so much for greeting me. I have had a lot of water today. It was a very good day. And I am loved for who I am. I am who I am, and that's all that I am. Poppy the Sailor Man. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Another slow, large drawing day. So after I finish this drawing, I'm going to work on my self-portrait. And I'm thinking of doing a less caricature head. I'm thinking of doing, I don't know, a realistic head. I'll probably sketch a couple of ideas. I just need to focus on this. That's good. I think Sally is done. I think I'm done with Sally. I gotta, what? Yes, I'm gonna do a hour draft Sally for an hour, right? And I got to Texas. You got to Texas. Fantastic. Sorry, I'm just seeing that chat. I had to really focus on my drawing for a bit. Got to Texas. Fantastic. I am going to start with Jack's head and then work my way to the rest of it. Let me draw his outline. Later, I will fill everything in. Now, for the shirt, I'm not going to do any additional shading, but I am going to go back and fill in all of these stripes on his suit. That's going to take a long time, but it's probably going to be the last thing I do. Gotta go. Okay, bye. Hello. See you soon. Where am I on? 20 minutes, 19 and a half minutes into today. I think sometime maybe Friday I'll just work on it for half an hour so that way I don't have to keep saying like this is going to be 6.5 hours. I'm almost at my 6 hour mark. Can't tell I can't tell where my stylus is. The more I scrape, oh man, I'm off. It's okay because I'm going to be filling all those lines. Thanks, Grayson. Just you. Hello. Hello. I had to really concentrate for that moment. Still could really concentrate, actually, but that was a particularly focused moment. And draw his arm lines. I'm just going to do the outline of him, and then I'm going to start with the shading on his head.
Is it possible I could
See, the stylus is so cool.
I could really love you. Is it possible I could feel this good? I could really love you the way I do.
The last thing I'm going to be shading, not today. At least I don't think I'll get to today. Maybe I can finish this Friday. It'll be a 7-hour drawing. Thanks, Catnap. Could you please draw a smiley critter next month? I'm not taking any requests. I don't take any requests during this hour. This hour is dedicated to just working on this piece.
I feel then you're not just with something.
I have a feeling. Are you seeing my reflection?
See me.
Yeah, maybe I'll. Sorry. I'll try to draw from the side. I just don't like it when my reflection shows up in the time-lapse video. But, it's part of the process.
Where's right?
These are really wide. These are wider than they should be. But that's all right. He's still going to look like him. I will glance over at my chats once in a while, but this is definitely these lives are a little slower. Of course, this music isn't helping. Music, no, their lives are a little slower because I'm taking my time, making sure I'm doing a really good job on this detail. I'm doing the final details of this drawing. 6 hours into it, almost 6 hours.
Cause last time it's a cold, it's a fine. I wanna miss a time for
Let's skip this slow song. Kind of another slow song, but not so much. Thanks for sharing the live, Jason Bacon.
You're a child in my head. You haven't walked yet. Your first words have yet been said.
Really excited to see the separation between Jack. Hey, Gogeta! The Jack. I'm looking forward to seeing the contrast between Jack and the shadow of the moon at night, filling your dreams with fright.
All the blues that I ever
I am the shadow of the moon at night, filling your dreams. Looking this way.
and
You have been blessed.
I found you that stop sky.
Outline is bad. I might have to retrace this to darken the line, but I'm really happy so far. Working on the back of his head, Jack's head, working my way around. At one point, there was a mistake. I made the head too small, but the shading and then shaking it kind of has hidden that mistake. You know what? That's a fourth option. If I make a mistake, add some shading there. I just recently posted my drawing of a Ford Mustang. It was a commission piece on a classic size 2016 Ford Mustang. And I made a mistake. I made the hood was too big. And so I ended up drawing a, like a background shading. I just did like a horizon shading that had that extra line. Not sure if I want to skip. I think I'm just going to try jumping to the eye, doing my best to hide that connecting line. That's nice. That was a nice time, if I say so myself. That's very interesting. I just realized if I do work on this Friday to finish it, I could preserve it over the weekend. I do my preservations over the weekend. If Leah Hart is still here, she'll love that. She loves when I cut these things open. She's a cutter. And if you're falling asleep, maybe I woke you up by saying your name. And with his eye colored in, it's going to really help stand out too. So yeah, this is looking like it's going to end up being a 7-hour drawing, which is great because I've been showing people my drawings, and I've got a 6-hour drawing, an 8-hour drawing. And if I have thanks, Manny. Well, look at that. I've been busy with work. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've now been working on this for 6 hours. Not all at the same time, an hour at a time. Although one session was an hour and a half just to finish the shading, the initial shading. This is the final shading. Yeah, I think I'm going to work on it. Thank you. I think I'm going to work on it Friday and finish it Friday. Earlier in the day, though, I have the day off of work. Then I can have a Friday night live drawing request time. There we go. Thanks for the follow, supporting this. Hey, notifications 86.1. Wait and say 861. But I was reading it. Focus on my drawing here for a moment. My goodness. You'll tune in on Friday too. Fantastic. I just realized, Leah Hart, are you still here? I just realized I did the time lapse from yesterday and I did not notice the heart. I wonder if it is in there somewhere. I do remember you, Zoink. I wrote Zoink and I did my half hour of name. That's really why you're going to stand out in my head because I wrote Zoink in my half hour of names. In the middle of all these names, Zoink. I need to focus in where I'm doing right now. So what I used to do, I've been filming my drawings since 2017. I've been drawing since 1995 on the Etch A Sketch, but I've been filming my drawing, time-lapse drawings since 2017, but I haven't been live while doing it. I only did that recently where I decided to go ahead and go live so people can watch me do it live if they want to. And then after I'm done, I download the footage from TikTok and I will use the footage from TikTok for my time lapse videos. That's why it's sideways. Thank you. I really didn't want to do the extra line in front of his eye between the bridge of his nose and his eye, but I think that's fine. All right, now I'm going to do is the mouth. So I've learned as I'm doing the shading, the way the Etch A Sketch works is very fine aluminum powder stuck to the glass inside by static electricity. It's not magnets. And as I'm moving the stylus, I'm scraping the powder off of the glass. But while I'm doing that, I'm also pushing the powder around on the backside of the glass. So I've learned ways of manipulating that powder to try to hide connecting lines as I'm pushing the powder around. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Manny. Someone said I'd be a really good surgeon with my intricate hand precision. That's the word. My normal lives are actually on a pocket size Etch A Sketch, and I'm taking requests. I'm only going to work on the larger detailed drawings like this Tuesdays and Wednesdays. They don't tend to get a big crowd. We've got 14 people watching, so how an Etch A Sketch works, right? Now, if you go to my TikTok profile, don't do it now because I want you to hang out here with me. But if you go to my TikTok profile later, you can see I have a pinned video showing I open one of classic size up and move the knobs. You can see how the mechanism inside works. So that's why when you turn it over and shake it, it erases because the powder that's inside will fill in the lines. Oh, I see it. It's actually right back, way back here. It starts to go. The powder inside then fills in all of the lines that I've stretched off. Let's go his mouth here. Heather, hello. Oh, I'm at his mouth. I'm at the front of Jack's mouth. I'm going to fill in the inside. I used to point, but then I had to edit out all my finger pointing while I did time lapse. Well, hello, the Saturnian, a resident of Saturn, is on YouTube. I'm also live on TikTok. I'm going to use the TikTok footage for my time lapse video, but I'm live on YouTube on regular, it's not sideways. And the lives on YouTube will stay forever and ever. My normal lives on YouTube, you can see me, you can see my stopwatch going while I'm picture moves. Oh, thanks, you mad. Flowers, that's nice of you. I don't do this for money. I do this to realize it's just for my own collection. This isn't something that I'm making for a client. That's how I relax after work and before dinner. We're thinking. I don't do this for money, but I do like an audience. Normally, I have more of an audience when I'm doing my quick drawing lives, because I'm taking requests and drawing requests. But yeah, I do like an audience. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to the mouth for this outline, but I'm finishing the neck outline. Going like up in front of the neck, curving around. Alright. Lower jaw. Nice. Excellent. I am. I'm actually Pacific Standard Time, but I'm in Las Vegas. I'm in Las Vegas. So it's Pacific time. It's the same time zone as California.
Television, I can see what you done for it. Is this my job to make you worse?
I keep pushing the powder around, so sometimes the inside of the mouth is getting powder pushed into it. So I can try to clear it out again. East Coast, all right. So, are you drawing off the top of your head? No, I do have a reference image. I do have a reference image that I'm going based on. If you go to my earlier today, I did post yesterday's status of this drawing, and the very first image on the status video is my reference image. Although I did add my own little style to it in the moon. I'm not sure if you could. Yeah, I think you could see it. Oh, look at that. And the moon is the shadow of Oogie Boogie, and I added that. That's my own little touch to it.
Nothing happens that you don't really know.
And I've also moved Sally up a little higher. That's right, Big Draco. So, Manny, normally my lives, I try to come on between, I think it's 7:30 and 8 o'clock p.m. your time. Maybe about 8, more likely 8 o'clock is when I would show up your time. And then I just draw. Usually I just draw until it's time for dinner, but I'm going to work on this. Been working on this for about 40 minutes today, so another 20 minutes I'm going to stop for the day. Like I said, I'm hoping to finish it Friday. That would consist of filling in his suit, really. Shoot, I might get a lot of it done today. Now that I'm thinking about it, go back up the mouth. So I'm pushing as I push the powder around to clear it off. Awesome.
It's a sad, sad state of affairs.
You know what, the God Money, what I'm wanting to do is actually, well, I'll be alive tomorrow around 8 o'clock. But it's just doing requests. I'm not going to work on this. I go live daily, pretty much, for the most part.
Couldn't be worse. I disagree. There could be land-rich bankrupt aristocracy.
But tomorrow's live will be totally different. I'll have a little Etch A Sketch, and I'll be drawing requests, and they're shorter drawings, like 15, 20-minute, 30-minute drawings. I do want to make, so going back to the origin story question, there isn't a video, and I wanted to do an animated draw my life, but I might make it more like comic book style, where it's just a series of drawings, as opposed to animated. Animated would take forever, but I could do storybook style. I think that's a good idea. So my origin story is, though, when the first Toy Story came out in 1995, I went to visit my parents and so did my brother and his family. I was entertaining my nieces and nephews with the Etch A Sketch and drew a picture of Woody. And I looked at it, I'm like, you know what, I think I could do this. And that's going on 30 years now that I've been using the Etch A Sketch as an art medium.
Marriage is a partnership.
And over the time, Etch A Sketch My Life would be cool, right? Thanks, Big Draco. So
Everything's must be.
I've over the years I've learned different techniques of shading. Well, you can see here's a prime example right here. I created this method where I lightly shook it yesterday. I did all of the shading. It was super dark. And then I'm gonna go do the arm that's in the middle between Jack and Sally, that Jack's arm there. I'm gonna start shading the suit.
Yeah.
Um,
That's so
I've also learned different techniques. Pushing the powder around, like I said, I've learned different techniques of textures, things like that. So yeah. So then I think it's just going to be a matter of I'm going to focus for a second. I lost my stylus. I kind of know where it is. I'm at the bottom, one way or another. All right. I think I'll need to map it out in pencil, each frame, what each frame would look like for my story. I need to write my story. I need to take a little break. 43 minutes I'm into it. I'm going to take have a drink of water. That's awesome, Manny. Thanks for that. If you go to my YouTube channel, which the link is in my profile, if you go to my YouTube channel, hold on. If you go to my YouTube channel, my videos are mostly my detailed drawings, time lapse, and some of them are longer videos than just a minute. Still very satisfying, even not watching it in real time. Yes, there were times, sure you believe, when I bit off more than I could chew. When there was doubt, I heated it up and spit it out. I'm right in the middle on Jack's army between him and Sally, working on stripes. A little challenging because it's diagonal. Right? Yes. Right. But yeah, as relaxing as this might be for you, that's why I do this. Helps me unwind from my day. Yeah, so right. So I mean, chief thing, did all that, and basically, I sorry. Oh no, not the I not. What has got your plan? So then has not to see the things. I do other artwork, other forms of art, like other art mediums, but this is just the most relaxing and the easiest as far as, I don't have to worry about mixing paint. Oh, well, thank you, Manny. But yeah, when I do these, I don't have tons of canvases all around me, especially if I'm doing the little request. Although I do have a lot of little items sticking around it. But I don't have like stacks of canvases. I'm not trying to make a living off of this, so I'm not struggling to help myself out. See, we go from that to the Brady Bunch kids. It's awesome. You never know. You never know. And again, this is not a streaming service I'm listening to. This is my iPod and CDs that I own. So it's going to be completely random, but stuff that I like. Which is also why sometimes people say, hey, can we listen to this? No. Even if I own it, I'm not going to take the time to stop and go look for it. My iPod is so old, the battery is dead. If I were to unplug it from the base in 2 seconds it would be dead. Fine. Try to smooth out these stripes.
Had no words to say.
Yeah.
I started out on my way. Yeah.
So this Etch A Sketch is a 60th anniversary Etch A Sketch. 2020 was the 60th anniversary of the Etch A Sketch. And that's diamond. 60 is diamond. So they made this Etch A Sketch that was just released that year. They gave me this one. This was given to me by the Etch A Sketch company. I am one of their influencers, you could say. Just hit 96,000 here on TikTok. That's nice. I'm almost at, where am I at? 953 subscribers on YouTube. But I've only started going live on YouTube since January.
And I
Yeah, Manny, I believe I recognize your name, right? This isn't your first live of mine. I want to say I've seen your name in my lives before. Fantastic. Good. I'm glad I'm not wrong about that. I don't know that you've seen one of these lives where I'm just slowly, I hardly have them. That's why I haven't had a schedule. I've really tried to make time for these because this is of the 30 years that I've been working on the Etch A Sketch. 25 of them was mostly on these big ones and working for hours, but it would be on my lunch break while I'm in the office. So that got thrown off. Quarantine, that schedule. Now my office hours aren't consistent. I have a new office now since then, since 2020. I'm in it. I moved from California to Nevada in 21. And this office that I'm at now, this song about you. And I won't talk too much about it. Yeah, my schedule's not the same. The office layout, I don't really have a place to draw at work like I did in the other office. So that's why I'm doing this in the evening. So I'll do it Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That way at least I have a constant. I'm working on something 2 hours a week. Need a new job? Oh, I need a new job, or you need one? I need a new job to be able to. I need a better office. Because what I would do is I would have that easel at my desk, and I would put on sound canceling headphones, and everyone knew if I was working on my drawing, that was my time. Don't bother me. And I had a phone mount that locked in there. Again, I wasn't live then, but I had a phone mount on my desk mount where I would film there at my desk. Another reason why I didn't let people disturb me. So they film. I need to mention the white stripes where you've got really thin stripes. Yeah, I need an office room, right? Not just a cubicle. I don't need it. I should have an office with a drafting table, easel where I can draw. That would be beautiful. And then lighting. Someday. Maybe someday. In the meantime, I come out strong. And because it is earlier for me, I stop at dinner and then I have an evening with my wife and dinner with the family. And it's, this doesn't really cut into family time. That was the best thing about doing it on my lunch breaks, is because then it really didn't interfere with family time because I drew during the day. But I really like this current schedule where I'm drawing after work for requests. Hey, thanks to the Yeep. I just saw that. If you're still there, if you read the Yeep on YouTube. Yeah, I almost feel like this is the first pass. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this on actually. I mean, like, it doesn't matter. I try to go from the background to the foreground. His arm is in the most foreground of the suit. I should be working like the underside, like here. Um, is it a coincidence that I did Nightmare Before Christmas on a black Etch A Sketch? No. I thought about doing a drawing of Jack and Sally. I had this Etch A Sketch and I thought it'd be perfect too. It was a perfectly themed Etch A Sketch because of the chiseled black. The diamonds don't quite match, neither do the sparkles, although I did justify the sparkles are okay because it's like snow globe. I also saw that circle of the moon doesn't quite look right, but I guess it's okay. I guess to answer your question now, it's not a coincidence that it's a black Etch A Sketch Nightmare Before Christmas. Because I thought about after I finished drawing, not put, I can take off the sparkle layer. I could take off the sparkle layer and leave it up so you see the drawing. But then I've got purists. I got my moderators were like, you can't do that. Then it would no longer be a diamond Etch A Sketch. All right. Oh, see, now Manny's there. Thanks, Adam. I think so too. And he's called your way to so Manny's vote is also do not toss the glitter screen. And most of us just make it by. One works so hard to be me. It's more how she never lost her mind. The things the sky it's getting hot. Stay dry. See the fire keeps the fall. I'm really enjoying that. Oh, the songs and fingertips. Turkeys are just smoking a couple of that. So I see. It's justified. You're now the third vote to keep it so. As it makes sense for us to choose a side. It comes God, forgive me for everything I'm saying. So now I'm going to go ahead and skip. And now that I've done that arm, I'm going to go here. And then under the collar. It's Hi, Tron. I'm just going to call you Tron. Hi, Tron. On YouTube. I'm also live on TikTok, so I'm talking to people actually. I'm glancing over once in a while to look at my chat, but not a lot. Oh, now I got to do this half. But not a lot because I need to focus on what I'm working on. But I'm working on these big ones. So tomorrow when I go live around this time, a little earlier, tomorrow when I go live, I'll have a pocket-sized Etch A Sketch and I'll be taking requests then. Slower. See, now the powder sticks to the glass with static electricity. So when I'm doing the shading, I need to go slow if I want dark lines, because if I go too fast, it conducts static electricity and the powder just goes right back up. What time is it? Oh, 57 minutes. I think we're going to reach our stopping point here. It's only 3 minutes until. Let me go up the rib cage here under his arm. I think I'm going to do a little shading here the last 3 minutes, but I might go back another time. Is this going to? Oh, I see. Time truly does fly, right? Thanks, Ari, for the follow. Hey, what's going on? Nice art. Thanks, Tron. KKK. Why would you say that? Galaxy Michael, you here? Any moderator, really. Hey, thanks for sharing the live, man. You might recognize some of these tunes that are like, they sound like kids' lullabies, but this is really Queen, I Will Rock You. I have several songs like this that are like kids' lullabies. A lot, actually. I have a lot of CDs that are kids' lullabies. Yeah, I should say babies' lullabies. I guess kids don't need lullabies. There's so many of these different bands. All right, 59 minutes. Only 1 minute left. Let me do some basic shading on these just to get it started. I'll call it a night. Or I'll come back, do these finishing touches. I think I could finish it in half an hour. So this is 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours that I've been working on it. Yeah, I'll definitely pick in these lines and go slower and darker. Make these white lines a lot thinner when I'm done. But good status for today. Oh, let me retrace this line.
My past is inside your future. You should be one before I let you inside.
Nice. There we go. Then I always go to the bottom, this bottom corner when I stop. You should think about putting 0 in there somewhere, like you did with Oogie Boogie. I think that's too much. I don't think there's enough space. But where? Where would you put 0? I think there's too much going on. And it's a little too late because I would have made him look like a ghost, and I've already done my shake. Okay, Tron. We'll see you tomorrow on YouTube. Hold on. Let me now that I've done that, done my drawing for the day, let me give TikTok straight on view.
Just to get out place where I started.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a Twitch? I do have a Twitch, but I don't use it. Yeah, but anywhere you want to look for me, I am Etch artist everywhere. A tiny 0. But see, again, I would want 0 faded like this because he's a ghost. If I were to do 0 now, he would be solid lines like these. So I'm saying no to 0. So all right, until tomorrow.